But that trade relationship that once was a great strength has now become a serious vulnerability. Now, I want to be clear. Canada still has the best deal of any U.S. trading partner, with 85% of our trade with the United States remaining tariff-free and the lowest average tariff rate in the world. And as we prepare for the joint review of CUSMA that will begin later this year, Canada's new government remains focused on protecting this unique Canadian advantage. Our objective is to remove all tariffs in the auto sector to build the strongest North American auto sector. That's what we will build together. But we recognize that that is not the current objective of the U.S. administration. Their approach has changed. It's their right. So we have to prepare for all possibilities. We must take care of ourselves. Our strategy rests on 5 pillars. First, accelerating investment in Canadian auto manufacturing. Second, rationalizing emission reduction policies to focus on the outcomes that matter to Canadians. Third, strengthening domestic demand by making electric vehicles more affordable and reliable for Canadians. Fourth, establishing a comprehensive trade regime that strengthens the competitiveness of our auto sector. And fifth, protecting Canadian auto workers from the immediate pressures while helping them bridge to the future. To accelerate investment across the low-carbon mobility value chain, we're implementing the Clean Electricity Investment Tax Credit, we're expanding the Clean Technology Manufacturing Investment Tax Credit, and we're including a wide range of critical minerals. And we are reducing the tax rate for zero-emission technology manufacturers so they benefit from 1/2 of the normal corporate tax rate, and that is before these deductions. Put simply, we're making Canada the best place to invest, the best place to build, the best place to build clean. Canada will set a new, more ambitious, sovereign path to reduce automobile emissions. We'll drive down emissions by more than doubling the stringency of Canada's vehicle GHG standards by 2035, achieving the equivalent emissions reductions of a 75% EV adoption rate. We won't stop there. By leveraging new investments in EV production, consumer incentives, and charging infrastructure, we'll work towards achieving the equivalent of a 90% EV adoption rate by 2040. The more stringent emission standards will enable the Government of Canada to repeal the electric vehicle accessibility standard, so-called EVAS. Replacing EVAS with those stronger vehicle emission standards focuses on the results that matter to Canadians, while avoiding placing undue burdens on the Canadian auto industry. And that's why our government is launching a new $2.3 billion electric vehicle affordability program. Canadians who purchase or lease a battery electric or fuel cell electric vehicle will receive up to $5,000 and up to $2,500 for plug-in hybrids priced up to $50,000. To support the Canadian auto industry, this $50,000 cap will not apply to Canadian-made EVs or Canadian-made plug-in hybrids. And those incentives will only apply to vehicles produced in countries with whom Canada has a free trade agreement. The fourth pillar of our strategy is to establish a comprehensive trade regime that strengthens the global competitiveness of our auto sector. Again, to be clear, Canada continues to favor a zero-tariff regime with the United States in autos because we know that will deliver the strongest North American auto industry. But if the U.S., through the CUSMA review, insists on some form of auto tariffs, we'll ensure that companies that sell vehicles in Canada are strongly incentivized to produce in Canada. Our recent agreement with China will allow a limited number of EVs from China to enter the Canadian market, fewer than 50,000 a year in a market of 1.8 million cars. This will help provide Canadians with more affordable, energy-efficient options. At the same time, we expect this agreement to catalyze considerable joint venture investment in Canada with trusted Canadian partners to create new auto manufacturing jobs and strengthen the build-out of our EV supply chain. That Japanese producers account for roughly three-quarters of the production here. They're major players. We have integrated supply chains across North America, in fact, more broadly, companies like Martin. We are in active discussions with a range of potential new investors from a broader range of countries. Korea would be one example in the Canadian auto sector for Canadian production. And we are working with the Detroit 3, the major American auto makers, on retooling some of their plants, expanding activity here, and integrating there. Importantly, the effectiveness of the work with the U.S. auto makers will be impacted by the results of the CUSMA negotiations. We have a strong view that the most effective, strongest, resilient, competitive, affordable auto sector in North America is one where vehicles and parts continue to move across our borders tariff-free. That view is shared by the Detroit automakers as well, and we'll be working hard in order to accomplish that. If that is not the case, we're putting in place a series of measures for production in Canada, for Canadians, for export to the world.
Follow-up?
Merci beaucoup.
Merci. Thank you. This puts an entire press conference.